Every year, criminal networks pump more than $1 trillion through the global economy. It happens entirely in the shadows, moving as silent digital packets right alongside your grocery purchases and paycheck deposits. To catch this illicit activity, the financial system relies on the Suspicious Activity Report, or SAR. When a local bank branch or an automated system spots a transaction that lacks a clear business purpose, like a shell company with 0 employees moving millions of dollars, they file one of these alerts. But historically, investigators faced a massive blind spot. A single bank only sees the transaction happening directly in front of them. They see money arrive or leave, but rarely see the complete route from origin to final destination. By the 1990s, the mass adoption of computerized ledger systems pushed the problem to a breaking point. Transfers that used to take days of physical paperwork were suddenly happening in milliseconds. The sheer, unprecedented velocity of the money completely overwhelmed human analysts, turning a system of fragmented clues into complete chaos. Without a centralized viewpoint, investigators were blind to the broader movement of funds. The pure, staggering volume of daily, legitimate banking noise became an effective shield for illicit networks to hide their assets. In 1990, the United States government established the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN, to build a centralized financial intelligence unit. The engineering mandate was daunting. They needed to ingest millions of scattered, entirely unstructured records from thousands of different banking institutions. Almost none of those institutional mainframes were programmed to communicate with each other. When this financial intelligence fails to connect, the real-world consequences are severe. The physical reality of drug trafficking and human smuggling is sustained by the invisible digital flows those isolated mainframes were failing to track. Solving this required FinCEN to abandon traditional, isolated database models. They had to design a novel, national-scale architecture capable of standardizing everything into one unified language. The project's success rested on an architecture that could transform localized noise into a unified signal. To handle that signal, FinCEN built the BSA data warehouse. It operates as a hybrid storage backbone, utilizing large-scale Oracle clusters combined with cloud-scale object storage to hold billions of historical transactions. When a bank submits a filing today, it hits a rigid ETL, or extract, transform, load pipeline. This pipeline automatically strips down the wildly different submission formats, parses the unstructured text, and forces everything into a perfectly uniform schema. Once standardized, distributed indexing engines tag every extracted field. Names, addresses, IP addresses, and transaction amounts are mapped out, making decades of historical banking data instantly searchable for federal investigators. Investigators access this via FinCEN Query, a portal locked down by zero-trust access controls. The system relies on immutable logs. Every single update creates a new version, meaning no record is ever overwritten or deleted. But building a warehouse only solves the storage crisis. Storing organized data is distinct from actually understanding the hidden behaviors inside of it. Money launderers design their networks to break the data trail. They rely on nested shell companies and nominee owners to ensure the name on a bank account does not match the person actually controlling the funds. To rebuild those trails, FinCEN deploys link analysis powered by graph engines. This technology looks past individual transactions to map the relationships between accounts, identifying structural overlaps that a human analyst might never spot. Machine learning models traverse this vast network of nodes to perform entity resolution. If a target uses several different misspellings of an alias or swaps a passport number, the system mathematically matches those variations and binds them back to a single identity. In 2024, they deployed the Beneficial Ownership Secure System, or BOSS. For the first time, U.S. companies must legally disclose their true owners, giving FinCEN a dedicated tool integrated into the warehouse to automatically pierce the corporate veil. By weaving entity resolution and true ownership data into the raw transaction warehouse, FinCEN eliminates the mathematical anonymity shell companies were designed to provide. Yet, even with domestic clarity, a strictly national database hits a wall when tracking transnational criminal syndicates that deliberately move across borders. FinCEN expands outward through the Egmont Group, acting as a central hub connecting over 160 foreign intelligence units. A suspicious wire flagged in Miami instantly triggers an alert in a partner nation, revealing the complete international flow. Domestically, FinCEN takes this massive global map and cross-references it with the internal databases of the IRS, of the FBI, and Homeland Security. Against a continuous, immutable, and globally interconnected architecture, criminal obfuscation simply becomes another data point. If the database is engineered to look closely enough, the money will always leave a trail.